So today we are discussing about the Charles law. As you know that in Boyle's law at the pressure constant, in this temperature will be constant. Okay, so you have to understand when the when in first one, okay, Boyle's temperature was constant and in this pressure was constant. So that's why it is called as a relation between temperature and volume at constant pressure. Okay, and also known as Charles law. So J. Charles, a French chemist, as you know, studied the behavior of gases at constant pressure and formulated a relationship between volume and temperature of a gas in 1787. The experimental studies of the behavior gases, okay, reveal the following facts. First is when the temperature of a fixed mass of a given, okay, of a gas at constant pressure is increased, the volume of the gas increase correspondingly. Okay, so if temperature increased, then the volume also increased. Then when the temperature of a fixed mass of a gas at constant pressure is decreased, okay, the volume of the gas decreased correspondingly. Yeah, so, vice versa it was. Okay, so when the temperature decreased, so it means volume also decreased. Okay, so graph if you shown there, it may be look like as, okay, variation of volume with temperature at constant pressure. If you see that as volume increasing, okay, so as temperature increasing, volume also increasing. So this type of graph is made when you make in Boyle's law, you see that, okay, this type of graph. So there is difference between two graphs. So what we state, okay, after this law, so what Charles law states that at constant pressure the volume of a gas of a given mass, okay, is directly proportional to absolute temperature, that is temperature on Kelvin scale. Okay, so you just tell me the two postulates of its theory, but when we talk about the law, okay, in one line if you say that at constant pressure the volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature, what is, or that is temperature on Kelvin scale. So it's simply, okay, that, yes. So if you see that if V1 is the volume, so if V1 is the volume of a certain mass of a gas, okay, if a volume is given V1, then at absolute temperature, okay, or means temperature on Kelvin scale T1, and the temperature is T1, absolute means is fixed temperature, okay, and at a particular pressure, okay, pressure was also fixed there, and okay, we have to just identify the pressure, and V2 is the volume of a gas mass of the same gas at temperature T2 and the same pressure. Then according to Charles law, okay, pressure will be same. When pressure will be same, what we can say that V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2, because we can get now this equation when pressure will be equal. So there is a relationship between the volume of gas with the other gas and the temperature of one gas with the other gas. Then alternatively, Charles law can be expressed as follows. Okay, so we can also express the Charles law as, suppose V0 is the volume of a given dry gas. Okay, so if the volume V0 is given for a dry gas at 0 degree centigrade at particular pressure P, if Vt is the volume of the gas at 1 degree centigrade, okay, T degree centigrade, I think, yes, T degree centigrade, okay, and the same pressure, then according to Charles law we have, then what we get, V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2. According to that, our value will be like this. Okay, V1 upon T plus 273, because it is in degree centigrade, we have to change in Kelvin. Okay, then V0 upon 273, it's related to the at constant pressure. Okay, when the pressure is constant, we can write it as also. Okay, Vt is equal to V0 T plus 273 upon 273. Then Vt is equal to V0 as 1 plus T upon 273. So because we can write 1 here. Okay, so this is the equation 7.5 become. So the volume of a given mass of a dry gas increases or decreases by 1 upon 273 of its volume at 0 degree centigrade for each 1 degree centigrade rise or fall in temperature, provided the pressure is kept constant. Okay, so this is we can also postulate from the Charles law. We can also know that, okay, these things, that whenever the gas increases by 1 upon 200 centigrade, so volume is 0 degree centigrade, so its temperature will be 1 degree rises or fall. Okay, according to the situation. If it is increases, the temperature also increases by 1 degree centigrade. If it decreases, its temperature also decreases. Then we can say that uh, from equation 7.5, it implies that at T is equal to 273 0 centigrade minus 273 or 0 Kelvin. Okay, so Vt is equal to V0 uh, 1 plus minus 273 upon 273 is equal to V0 273 minus 273. You have to put just values. Okay, and it last it become ultimately 0. Okay, so you, this is the derivation of this equation. Thus you can define that the volume of a gas reduces to 0 at minus 273 degrees centigrade. Okay, this is the main thing you have to keep in mind, that whenever the temperature is falls down at minus 270 degrees centigrade, minus 273 degrees centigrade, its volume decreases to 0. This is only a theoretical conclusion. Okay, because it means that matter gases disappeared, which is against the law of conservation of mass. Okay, thus it is not practically possible to attain a temperature equal to minus 273 degrees centigrade. Okay, we can only assume it that theoretically. Okay, not practically possible. Now we can experimentally verify the Charles law. Okay, for the verification of Charles law, a fixed amount of a particular gas is maintained at a fixed pressure. If you want to verify Charles law, okay, you have to maintain a fixed pressure. As you already know that in Boyle's law we have to fix the temperature, and in Charles law we have to fix pressure. Its volume is measured at a particular temperature. Now the temperature of the gas is increased slowly in such a way that its pressure remains the same, and the corresponding volumes are measured at various temperature. Okay, now we have to measure in a uh, given temperature. Okay, and the temperature increase slowly, we have to increase the temperature slowly, and it we have to keep in mind that pressure would be remain the same. Okay, so then we can measure the volume. The values of V upon T are now calculated for different temperatures. These values are found to be same for all data. Okay, all forms of data. This verifies Charles law. Suppose, okay, you can take example. You do an experiment, okay, of a gas, and you have to keep temperature fixed. Okay, temperature will be fixed, and suppose the temperature of a gas is 20 degree centigrade. Okay, so volume also increase, as if you see that 273 in one, then increasing temperature 30. Okay, it becomes the volume of its gas is 373, so it means it increasing. And if the temperature is decreasing in other way, Okay, suppose temperature goes down of 25 degrees centigrade, then the volume also decreasing. So it verify the Charles law. Then second thing, okay, you have to, this is the important thing, absolute or Kelvin scale of temperature. The commonly used scale of temperature, which is, that Celsius scale, is a relative scale because 0 and 100 degrees have been taken arbitrarily, okay, on it. Then 0 degree centigrade refers to the freezing point of water, as you all know, whereas 100 degree centigrade refers to the boiling point of water. Thus, the fixation of 0 and 100 on this scale is purely arbitrary. Okay, Charles law helps us to develop new scale of temperature which is absolute temperature. This new scale is referred to as absolute scale or Kelvin scale. Okay, so that's why we have to, because we have to just identify these things. For this, we use this absolute scale or also known as Kelvin scale. We already seen on this basis of Charles law that lowest temperature of a gas which can be attained is near to minus 273 degrees centigrade. Okay, so sometime question may be asked this lowest possible temperature at which all gases are supposed to occupy zero, okay, zero volume, or better to say a gaseous state cannot exist at 0 Kelvin or minus 200 centigrade K is called absolute zero of temperature. Okay, this is called absolute. Lagbhag. It is the absolute in the sense that it does not require any particular substance or any particular property of a particular substance for it to be defined. Okay, so as you know that it is why it is called absolute now, that we do not require any particular substance or any property, okay, of a particular substance which have to be identified or we have to define. Then a scale of temperature based upon the choice of absolute zero is called absolute scale of temperature. Now you can define this absolute scale, okay, it a scale temperature based upon the choice of absolute zero, okay, which is choice of absolute zero is called absolute scale of temperature. Now we read further on this. This scale was first suggested by a British scientist Lord Kelvin. Okay, therefore this scale is also called as Kelvin scale of the temperature. Okay, based on his name. When absolute zero was calculated very carefully, its exact value was found to be minus 273.15 degrees centigrade. Okay, if the volume of zero was calculated very carefully. Instead of minus 0.73 degrees centigrade as stated above, temperature on Kelvin scale are indicated simply by writing the letter capital K. Okay, by convention, the degree sign is not used while expressing temperature on this scale. Okay, and thus we can also write it as 0 Kelvin. The relation between Kelvin scale and Celsius scale is, this is the main thing you have to keep in mind, that temperature on Kelvin scale is equal to, okay, is equal to temperature on Kelvin scale, okay, plus 273.15. So you have to, for the convenience in calculation, usually 273 is used because you all are mathematician and you understand that 15 means it is related to 0 only, okay, because the value is below 5. Then for example 1 degree centigrade is equal to 1 plus 273 is equal to 274 Kelvin. Okay, if we just multiply based on this equation, so 100 degree centigrade is equal to 100 plus 273, then it becomes the 200 373 Kelvin. So in general, T degree centigrade, okay, is equal to T plus 273 Kelvin. So till now it could not become possible to attain absolute zero. Practically, this is because at this temperature the volume of a gas reduces to zero and the molecules become perfectly motionless or gaseous state does not exist. Okay, so for gaseous state, it is necessary to be the molecules will be randomly moving. Okay, so when we attain that this type of temperature, the gaseous molecules are unable to move. Okay, or they are not found in motion. So, however, scientists have succeeded in reaching very near to absolute zero by highly sophisticated devices. Okay, because these are very expensive devices and very much, if you say that amount of energy and money will be required to do this experiment. Okay, so if in normal way we can say that practically it was not possible till now. Now we see some solved examples based on Charles law. Okay, if you see first example, sample of a gas occupies 650 centimeter cube at 110 degree centigrade. At what temperature the gas will occupy a volume of 1050 centimeter cube if the pressure is kept constant. Okay, now we have to identify the temperature. So in the present case, okay, if you see the this question, V1 given, okay, sample of a gas occupies because centimeter in centimeter cube, okay, if you see volume will be given here. So V1 is 650 centimeter cube. Then if you see V2, the gas will be occupy a volume of this. Then V2 will be happen this. Then T1 means okay temperature. First temperature is given which is 110 degree centigrade. We have to convert in on Kelvin, so we get the 383 Kelvin. Now we have to identify the second temperature, okay, or final temperature you can say. The pressure remained constant during expansion, hence according to Charles law, V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T1. Okay, as you go from the questions, okay, you have to understand the values of these formulas, okay, which we read till now. So then T2, we have to find identify the T2. Then what we can say, V2 T1 upon V1. Okay, so 1050 equal is, if you say that multiply with 383 upon 650. Okay, then what will you get? We will get the 618.7 Kelvin. Now you understand that we have to identify the temperature of degree centigrade. So we have to convert it on degree centigrade. So we just subtract minus 273 from it. Then our answer will be 345.7 degree centigrade. Okay, we can see the another example. So it is desired to reduce the volume of 1000 centimeter cube of a gas by 25%. Okay, we want to reduce the volume of gas. To what temperature the gas be cooled if the initial temperature is 125 degree centigrade. So in this question, okay, V1 is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. Then V2 is equal to 1000 minus 1000 into 25 upon 100. So we get the 750 centimeter cube. So if you see that T1 is equal to 125 plus 273 is equal to 398 Kelvin. Then if what will the value of T2 we have to identify. So we have to just put the values, okay, and we will get the 298.5 Kelvin is the answer. So if you see, hence the given gas should be cooled as, okay, you just have to because the value is given on Kelvin, okay, we have to convert it on degree centigrade. Then we will get the 25.5 degree centigrade. Okay, so it means we have to reduce the volume by 25%.